Have you ever felt like life surrounds you with illusions? Like everyone wears a mask pretending to be something they're not. The fakes, the ones who only pretend to care. And, let's face it, sometimes just people in general are the biggest challenges in life. You smile, you trust, you give them a part of you, only to realize it was all a lie. In this video, we're diving into the 3 things I hate about life. Fakes, people who pretend to care, and just people. If you've ever been let down or wondered why the world feels so exhausting sometimes, stick around. And before we get started, if you find this message resonates, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's unravel the truth together. 1. Fakes. The people who hide behind masks. Let's start with the fakes. You know the type. They're everywhere. You see them on social media where their lives look perfect, their smiles flawless, and their words carefully curated to get likes and validation. You encounter them in workplaces where they're always agreeable, always charming, and always climbing. And sometimes the harsh truth is they're in your closest circle. Friends, colleagues, even family members who wear masks so convincing you almost believe they're real. Fakes are masters of deception. They know exactly what to say to gain your trust, how to act to make you think they care, and how to craft an image of perfection. But here's the thing, it's all a facade. Their words often sound sincere, but their actions tell a different story. They promise loyalty yet gossip about you the moment you leave the room. They gossip about you the moment you leave the room. Claim to support you, but only when it benefits them. And the worst part, it's exhausting to be around them because you're constantly second, guessing everything they say and do. Let me ask you this. How often have you caught yourself wondering if someone really means what they say? How many times have you felt betrayed by someone you thought you could trust? That's the toll fakes take on us. They make you question the sincerity of everyone, even the people who might genuinely care. They plant seeds of doubt so deep that you begin to wonder if anyone is truly authentic anymore. And let's talk about society. We live in a world where fakeness is not only tolerated, but often rewarded. Think about it. How many times have you seen someone being celebrated for their niceness, only to find out later it was all an act? Being nice today isn't about kindness or authenticity. It's about appearances. It's about saying the right thing at the right time to the right people, regardless of whether it's true. And that's what makes dealing with fakes so infuriating. They thrive in a system that enables and even encourages their behavior. But here's the truth, they can't escape. A fake person can't keep their mask on forever. The facade always cracks. Their true colors always show. Maybe it's in a moment of stress when they can't keep up the act or when their selfishness slips through in a way they can't hide. And when that happens, you'll look back and wonder, how much of your energy did you waste believing in them? How much of your time did you spend trying to win over someone who never really cared? Fakes are like parasites. They feed off your trust, your kindness, and your energy. They take and take until there's nothing left, and then they move on to their next target. The sooner you learn to spot them, the sooner you can cut them out of your life. Watch their actions, not their words. Pay attention to how they treat others when no one is looking. And most importantly, trust your gut, because your intuition often picks up on things your eyes don't see. Have you ever dealt with a fake? Share your experience in the comments. Let's start a conversation about recognizing and overcoming the influence of these people in our lives. Remember, authenticity always wins in the end. 2. People who pretend to care, masters of manipulation. Let's talk about the people who pretend to care. At first glance, they seem warm, supportive, and genuinely invested in your well-being. They check in on you, asking, "How are you?" or "Is everything okay?" But beneath the surface, their concern isn't real. It's a performance, a charade designed not to help you, but to make themselves feel better. You'll recognize these people when you start to pay attention. They listen just enough to appear empathetic, but their responses feel hollow. They'll nod, smile, and give you generic advice, but they never truly hear you. And here's the kicker. When you're at your lowest, when you really need them, they vanish. Suddenly their calls and texts stop. Their concern was never about you. It was about what they could gain from pretending to care. Think about how damaging that is. You open up to someone, believing they'll stand by you, only to realize they were never truly there for you in the first place. It's not just disappointing, it's devastating. These are the people who take your vulnerabilities, your pain, and your struggles and turn them into something they can use. Maybe it's gossip. They'll repeat your private moments to others, framing it as if they're worried about you. Or maybe it's just a way to boost their ego, so they can say, "Look at me, I'm such a good friend." What's worse is that these people often come from within your inner circle. They're the ones you trust the most, the ones you believe are different. You let them in, sharing your deepest fears, your darkest moments, thinking they care. And for a while, it feels like they do. They say all the right things. They show up when it's easy. But over time, you start to see the cracks. They avoid difficult conversations. They're only around when it's convenient for them. And when you need real, unwavering support, they're nowhere to be found. Here's a hard truth. Some people don't care about you. They care about what you can do for them. They care about how being associated with you makes them look. They care about how helping you feeds their own ego or social standing. It's selfishness disguised as kindness, and it's one of the most manipulative traits a person can have. The heartbreak comes when you realize their care was never about you. Every comforting word, every supportive gesture, it wasn't genuine. It was calculated. It was meant to make them feel good about themselves, to give them the appearance of being a good person. And when they've gotten what they wanted, they're gone. These people are like emotional thieves. They take your trust, your pain, and your vulnerability and turn it into a weapon. They drain you emotionally, leaving you questioning yourself, wondering if you're the problem, if you're too much, if you expect too much. But the truth is, the problem isn't you, it's them. So, how do you deal with these people? First, learn to recognize the signs. Real care doesn't come with conditions. A genuine person listens to you, stands by you in your darkest moments, and doesn't make your struggles about them. Pay attention to actions, not words. If someone claims to care but repeatedly lets you down, it's time to reevaluate their place in your life. Cutting ties with people who pretend to care is hard, especially when you've trusted them. But it's necessary, because keeping them in your life only drains your energy and prevents you from surrounding yourself with people who are truly there for you. You deserve authenticity. You deserve relationships built on real connection, not manipulation. Have you ever dealt with someone who pretended to care? Share your story in the comments below. Let's expose this kind of behavior for what it really is and learn to protect ourselves from it. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and join this journey of uncovering the truth about the people around us. 3. Just people, the complexity of humanity. And finally, let's talk about just people, the unpredictable, complicated, and often selfish nature of humanity itself. It's not that all people are inherently bad. It's that navigating human relationships can feel like walking through a minefield. You never know what you're going to get. Some people are kind and understanding, while others are self-absorbed, judgmental, or completely indifferent to anyone but themselves. You've probably experienced this. You reach out to someone trying to connect on a deeper level to understand them or to build a meaningful relationship. But instead of mutual effort, you're met with apathy. Or worse, hidden agendas. They'll smile to your face, but harbor intentions that serve only their interests. And that unpredictability, it's exhausting. You find yourself second-guessing every interaction, wondering if you're reading too much into things or if your instincts are right. What makes it even harder is the sheer weight of people's expectations. Everyone seems to want something from you, your time, your energy, your validation. And when you can't meet those expectations, you become the villain in their story. But here's the truth no one talks about. No one's expectations ever seem to come with mutual effort. They want you to listen, but they never ask how you're doing. They want you to care, but they don't show the same concern for your struggles. It's a one-way street more often than not, and being on the receiving end of that imbalance is draining. And let's not forget the drama. People thrive on it. The arguments, the misunderstandings, the grudges, they all pile up until you're left wondering if maintaining relationships is even worth the stress. You put effort into understanding someone, into being there for them. And what do you get in return? More demands, more complications, more weight added to your shoulders. Here's the kicker though, the harsh reality that makes this so much harder to accept. We're all just people to someone else. Think about that for a moment. To someone out there, you might be the selfish one. You might be the one who didn't meet their expectations or who failed to connect in the way they needed. And that's the cycle of humanity, this endless loop of disappointment, misunderstanding, and unmet needs. It feels almost impossible to escape because, at the end of the day, we're all flawed. We're all carrying our own baggage, fighting our own battles, and trying to make sense of a world that often feels too chaotic to handle. But that doesn't make it any less overwhelming. The weight of dealing with people, their expectations, their flaws, their inability to meet you halfway can feel crushing at times. So what do you do? How do you navigate a world where people can be so unpredictable, so draining, and so complex? First, you have to set boundaries. It's not selfish, it's necessary. Protecting your peace, your time, and your energy is the only way to avoid being consumed by the chaos of others. And second, you have to manage your expectations. Not everyone will meet you halfway, and not everyone will see the world as you do. It's a bitter pill to swallow, but it's the reality of dealing with humanity. And finally, you have to find the people who make it worth it. They're rare, but they're out there. The ones who listen, who care, who don't just take but give. The ones who understand that relationships are a two-way street. Surround yourself with those people and let go of the ones who drain you. Because at the end of the day, life is hard enough without carrying the weight of others who aren't willing to carry it with you. What about you? Have you felt this way about people? That sometimes it's all just too much. Share your thoughts in the comments because trust me, you're not alone in feeling this. And if this message resonated with you, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let's keep diving into the truths about life that most people are too afraid to talk about. Recognizing these truths doesn't mean giving up. It means protecting your energy, setting boundaries, and surrounding yourself with the rare few who are genuine. Life isn't perfect, but it's in these lessons we learn to navigate it better. If you've ever dealt with fakes, pretenders, or just the complexity of people in general, share your thoughts in the comments. Let's start a conversation about what really matters. And if you haven't already, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more real, raw, and unfiltered content. Until next time, take care of yourself and stay real.